Welcome aboard, people. It is NHL reunion time. Chop Talk comes back on January 30th to provide a supplementary piece to DFS Army's Value Stacks article. I am Chopadong. I am a coach and contributor inside DFS Army, your one-stop shop for all things DFS. Obviously, at the end of this, you're going to click a link and a coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P, trigger a 10% discount becoming a VIP, and open up this bad boy. This is our sheet, our VIP-only spreadsheet that I'm giving you a sneak peek of today because it just rolled out. The part that I want to show you, you've seen some of the screenshots of some of these games that we highlight with, the odds, the implied team totals, goals for per game, and who's spiking. Like San Jose scored more lately. They score about 3 goals a game over the season, but yet over the last 21 days, they've scored 4 per game, so they're a hotter offense. They're also being scored on, as their goals against have gone up as well. Lots of pretty numbers from your Corsi numbers. We have a tutorial rolling out for those of you that don't know what you're looking at. Our own buddy RK Jim is going to put that together for us and explain the sheet that he created between his own 2 ears. And we're going to get rocking and rolling with a lot of research when it comes down to building NHL DFS lineups. So again, jump into dfsarmy.com, open and access this sheet through your VIP program, and we will be off and running. Projected lines is the tab I want to show you today. This is just a couple of games worth of work that he put together that I'm telling you, holy crap. You scroll down here, Ottawa and Carolina. Say you want to take advantage of the Carolina 1 running up against the Ottawa 1 or vice versa. You take a look at their past 21 days. This is the last, say, 10 games or so is the sample size we're running against. And on the top line of the Ottawa Senators, you got 4 goals, 5 assists, and shots on goal plus block shots is our own little stat, 57 of those total in this group, providing a nice little floor. And you run over here and you see 8 goals, 8 assists, and 56 shots and blocks. So the DVP running against the last 5 games, you can see who's running a little bit weaker, who's running a little bit stronger, who they're matching up against. You can use those little research tidbits to your advantage. You can also run down here into the power play and take a look at how much the power play has been producing on the chances. Obviously, Carolina's power play is stronger than Ottawa's power play, 1 goal, 1 assist versus 5 goals, 11 assists when it comes to the power play over here in Carolina. You know that Ottawa's a little bit leaky. You know that the DVP matches up pretty good. You know that you got 8 goals, 8 assists, 56 shots on goal plus block shots, and you got a power play clicking along 5 goals, 11 assists. So you're producing points. And so the Carolina 1 might be a nice little target against the Ottawa 1 tonight. Scroll down a little further. Every single game on the slate is covered. You've got enough numbers to just go blind. This is the type of research that we do inside DFS Army on a daily basis that brings the best of the best line combinations to you. If you read my article, oops, bye, got to become a VIP now. If you read the article that I'm about to drop, you will see the picks, the stacks that I'm looking at, the value plays that I'm looking at. You'll see that I'm pretty heavily focused on the Pittsburgh power play tonight, the Pittsburgh 1. You can see what I was telling you before, that Schultz runs 17% of the time with this unit, 14% of the time with this unit, 5% of the time with this unit, 3% of the time with this unit. Add that up, that's 31, 37, 39, nearly 40% of the time. So just about splitting time with Letang on the power play, making Schultz, in my opinion, the better play. Why? When I scroll up here, I know that the San Jose 1 has been giving up goals lately. I know the San Jose 3 has been giving up goals lately. How did I find that? Over here, our buddies at Left Wing Lock provided that information to me, so I thank you very much. But I want to target not just one of the, I don't know which of these lines is necessarily going up against that top line or that third line. I know they're going to see significant ice time, and these guys are going to be the majority of the time out there on the ice skating around. So I'm looking at who are the hotter skaters, who are the producing skaters, and what I came up with was Sidney Crosby. If you look at his game log, and we scroll that one down a little bit, what you're going to find is a little bit of heat in Sidney's game over his last, say, 10 games or so. You don't see a ton of goals, 2, maybe 3 goals, but you see 3 assists, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 goals, almost 2 assists per game over his last 9 games. That's pretty big. Not shooting the puck a ton, but he hasn't had to. He's been setting his boys up. So that type of floor, and we know Sidney Crosby can just go off and score a couple of goals a game at any given moment. So you've got yourself an underpriced, well, not underpriced anymore, but if you pair him up with a couple of other guys, maybe a Simon, maybe a Sheary, and you get exposure to that top line, you get double exposure to that second power play unit, you get Crosby, you run down here, maybe, you run, I said Simon in the article, but so you've got kind of that cross power play unit exposure, but what you've also done is you drop down here and you pick up Schultz on the second defensive unit. You're going to run a lot here, get some exposure to Malkin. You're going to get exposure to that top line, of course, with Schultz. And for 4.2K, you've got exposure to both power play units, the 1 and the 2. This is just a good way to spread yourself out across. If these goals happen, and let's say San Jose gives up 3 or 4 goals tonight, the odds are it's coming off of one of these 2 lines, and Schultz might have been on the ice with them. So I'm trying to do the best I can at correlating and stacking up these plays in a safe way. I don't want to necessarily go all in on this top line, because now you can, but that's more of a tournament play, because you're tightening that focus up so much that if no goals get scored by that top line, you're flat. You're done. You don't even make the 50-50 line that night in your cash contest. So you spread out a little bit and hope that if you get a goal here and a goal here and a goal here, you've got access to 2 of them with a couple of these players, maybe one of which you correlated with the defenseman and the forward doing the scoring. So just a brief thought of how you run that together. Now, when we're going to go and we're going to run some lineups tonight, and we'll start with Schultz. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did you go, Schultz? We're going to start there. We're going to start with the Crosby. And we're going to run Simon in there. Now what I have is I've got my little 3 stack, and I'm sitting at $6,200 a player. If I want to take a goalie, let's throw Tuukka Rask, and not Tuukka Rask. Let's throw Pekka Rinne in there. 8,600, fairly expensive. I can drop all the way down. If you read the article, I can drop all the way down. Where's Yaroslav Halak? Boy, he's way down here. So if I really need to save some money, I can drop down and do that. Now, what I've done is I've laid in my foundation, my core. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build with a little bit of value. Maybe try and grab a second stack. One of the other stacks that I liked tonight was the Vegas 2 going up against the Calgary line. So let's go grab them. There's James Neal. There's Howla, and there's Perron. And I can comfortably fit that in. I've got 1 wing left and 1 defenseman left. Now, what defenseman would I ideally like? I'd like Klingberg. Let's see what that one ends up doing. 6,800 is going to be, can't do it. Can't get him. So it would cost me somebody. If I wanted to really force Klingberg in there, I might drop James Neal and put Klingberg in there. And now between 2 wings, I've got $5,000 for some one-offs. What one-offs do I like? I might take a Fiala out of Nashville. And now I'm left with $5,800 for a wing, another one-off somewhere. So if I scroll down and take a peek, Parise, Niederreiter, Corey Perry, Jeff Skinner, Steen, Gunchuk, Vanek, Teravainen. Bang. Now I've got Carolina 1 going up against the Ottawa. So, I mean, that's just one way to do it. And I didn't have to switch out my goalies. Now let's show you what happens if I want to take, let's say the Vegas 1. I said they were in play tonight. Marcia Show, where's Carlson? Up, I'm stuck on wings. Marcia, Carlson, and Riley Smith are that top line. Okay, a little bit more expensive, but let's say that I want to drop down and pick up Halak tonight. $5,500 for 1, 2, 3 offensive players and 2 defensemen. I might start with a deep value play like a Scott Wilson out of Buffalo. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring that average all the way back up. So now I'm building kind of bottom up again. You've heard me preach about that. Now I can probably dive in to a couple of these guys. Maybe jump into Nashville and grab Fiala again. I don't know why I'm on him. I'm just showing you guys examples. And I may pair him with a defenseman. Josie, Subban, Keith, Ryan Ellis. If I double check my numbers and look at Ryan Ellis, now I've got 7,600 for a defenseman and a center. So I don't know what center I would want to take at this point, but the sky's the limit. I might take Crosby and see if I can get him back in there with Schultz. Boom. 2,000 left. I can go back up to Pekka Rinne if I want. I can take out the value play of Scott Wilson if I want. I can run up into, say, Colorado and get some exposure to one of their guys. If I grab that wing, I guess I can't get exposure to that. But if I went to the whole league for that last winger at 5,100, just start hunting and pecking. That's not a terrible way to go, value-wise. Connor, it hasn't been bad in Winnipeg. Dadonov in Florida is a decent one-off. Sheary gets you more exposure to that top Pittsburgh, power player, that one of the two power play lines. So it correlates again with Crosby and Schultz. If I wanted to dig down a little deeper and go to the Boston 2, I could pick up Spooner. I mean, these are, again, just ways to go and digging in. Now, if I wanted to show you the other stack that I've been running tonight, or that I've been looking at, we run down into Buffalo, and we take Eichel, we take Okposo. We drop all the way down here and find Reinert and Ristolainen for a nice core of 4 players. Now we'll start with Pekka Rinne just because he's the more expensive goalie. And we'll see what we have to work with. 5,900 across these 3 guys. Let's say I take one of the deeper value plays in Joel Armia out of Winnipeg. And let's say I want to run, let's see, it's hard to kind of start thinking on the fly here, but this is just kind of what we want to do. Montreal's not in a terrible spot. They've been running hot lately. So what if we wanted to pick up a couple of the Montreal guys? Can we get Pacioretty in there with the number 1 center iceman? Doesn't look like they've got one up there on that top line. So maybe that doesn't work. Maybe with Montreal, maybe I take Petry as my defenseman. Petry's been running pretty well lately. Now I've got 8,400 for a center spot. Now ideally I could connect this, maybe Winnipeg, maybe Wheeler's in play. Maybe we can afford him. Boom. There's 1,000 left over. So if I wanted to, I could take, run Pacioretty on his own, run Petry out. Or if I really wanted to, I could take another one-off somewhere. Or I could go up maybe and correlate with Klingberg. He's just so consistent, guys. That's why you'll see me run to him. And at 5,700 on the wing, Janmark in. Still got 1,000 left. Could run Klingberg as a one-off. Could run out here for 5,700, take all of the games, scroll down and find a $5,700 wing. Skinner, Steen's been hot lately. If I look at his game log, 3 games, above 12, 15 points, 3 out of the 4 games, 20, 20, 20, almost 20. 4 out of his last 5 are close to 20 points. It's a fine one-off. Throw him out there. I mean, this is just the mixing and matching that goes along with making these lineups. So there you have it. I mean, within 15 minutes, we've built, 3 lineups revolving around all of our cores. I don't know if that's where I'm going to go tonight as the lineups change around. I may make 4 or 5 lineups that way tonight. That's just how you run it out and do it. You try to use this page to correlate stuff. You can use our own page at DFS Army for the VIPs, and you use it left wing lock to confirm some of the production and things. That's just basically how you do your research. So follow along on the article, guys. Follow along with DFS Army's Slack discussion where we're always talking hockey. We're talking all the other sports. You want to play NBA tonight? PGA is going to drop today. We've got the Waste Management Open, which I got to tell you is one of the more fun and entertaining contests or tournaments of the year for PGA. We've got guys that are absolutely slam dunking golf right now. Come inside, take a look, use the code CHOP, CHOP, DFSArmy.com. Follow the link in the description. In the comments section, you will find a way to access us. Follow me out on Twitter at Chopadong, and follow our other coaches too. And of course, Friends Don't Let Friends Pay Retail, CHOP, CHOP, 10% off coupon. We'll see you on the inside, guys. Have a good night.